that's happened in gardening world, where like you can't have leaves on your beds because it's untidy, when it's actually really good for them. Like you should always dig your beds over. No, you shouldn't. Weeds always need to be removed, not necessarily. So yeah, people have got this idea about how to look after the soil, but what you're actually doing is when you remove those things, you're actually doing the soil more harm than good at the end of the day.
But this was the only bed or part of the garden that had been our original vegetable garden. So we call this the main garden because it was where we started planting.
Yeah, and they'd also done a lot of their compost here, the people before we bought. So when we started to garden here, it already had a lot of organic matter in the soil. It already had a little bit of humus in it, which is the organic matter really, and it was already quite alive, if I can put it that way. And so that's why this was one of the first places where we started planting, whereas on the outside that was completely fallow. So this, it has got the most organic matter in, and then we just continue to add to that. So you are asking what we put on our beds. So this is it. This is, and you can actually, that's mycorrhizae. Yay, for healthy fungi. So you can actually smell this.
Yeah, smells like a forest floor. Don't you find it so incredible that like you start this composting process, and I was like, I need to inoculate with earthworms. Where am I going to get the earthworms? And then one day I turned it over and there were earthworms. I was like, why did I think I needed to like teach nature or show nature how to do it? And they were just suddenly there. It's incredible.
And so each season or each year we take something on. We've chosen not to do it all in one go. It's too overwhelming. You can never get it all done that way. So each season something will change to do what we believe is better and what works better for the flow of our farm. Because some practices are amazing, but they just don't all work for us.
Yeah, they don't translate.
Now all our beds are named, all of them. And there's a reason for it. When we want it watered, we'll say the burn and the burn extension need watering, or the reservoir garden needs a water, and everybody knows exactly where what we're referring to. So my husband chose the lay of the land. You can see we kind of slope down. So our irrigation starts at the top so it doesn't have to fight uphill, and we followed the sun.
Water overhand with when we make our liquid fertilizers. Vermicompost or comfrey or the chicken manure.
But this is just drip irrigation, so it's highly efficient. You're not using much water. Hey?
We're not. We're trying to save on water. Also it waters directly where the plant is. Also a lot of the things that we plant don't like the overhead watering.
So the white is frost cloth, and then you'll see there's some netting because we have a bird issue. There it is. Look, he's eating my greens. That's my lettuce.
We should be telling the go-away bird exactly his name.
And look at him. He's not. Look, they're not scared of us. And we have a mouse bird problem, which is really my biggest threat. But so we use bird netting. We've got the frost cloth, and that's why it looks all covered up. But it really is just to protect our plants. Leaves over here. That's frost. Okay, useless plant, but it's bolted, it's finished, and that's all chicken food. So I haven't really worried about it.
Like you've had this frost challenge and you still don't see it as a waste product. You know, it's not a loss, a total loss.
No.
You're like, the chickens are going to get some food.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily like majorly nutritious for them, but in between all those leaves are quite a lot of bugs. They do gather. We might put them on a pile, and it's also just fun for them. It also goes onto the compost. So no waste here.
Nothing is wasted.
Spitz cabbage, and it grows like a cone. And this is one of my favorite cabbages because it's quite sweet and it works incredibly well in a coleslaw. Really, really good. Good to cook as well. But so that's this puppy over here.
Yes, it looks so happy. Or did you talk to it like your little brother?
Yeah, I'm so excited about this Savoy. You have no idea. And they're so little and so yummy. Oh, and there's a tiny little solitary bee in there. Oh, there he is. Can you see him jumping that thing? That's a little solitary bee.
You see how excited you proper farmers get about little bugs, like the beneficials. They're also your babies.
Yeah, they definitely are. So for juicing, for me, things that would normally be thrown away, like when you buy something from the shop, you're pulling off those outside leaves, we use those leaves, so I will juice them. Okay, so the pumpkin that you guys are getting from us now is pumpkin that we grew during the summer. So we found that especially with last winter, for example, where everything died because of the extreme frost, we had nothing to sell and therefore couldn't sustain the farm. It became very, very difficult. So what we did is we now grow pumpkins and butternuts in the summer and we sell it in the winter.
Okay.
So the pumpkin that you're getting now was all grown in summer and it was
Amazing.
grown in this area here. So this whole entire area, you couldn't walk because it was just
Pumpkins.
pumpkin leaves everywhere. So it doesn't
Amazing.
look like anything, it's just these little holes. But it was actually this massive pumpkin, and that is what's getting us through our winter.
Amazing.
That lettuce from earlier on will allow to flower. That'll feed the bees. You can actually see how heavy their legs are with pollen, which is so cool.
In winter, which is incredible.
In winter, yeah. But the fact that we're still getting tomatoes at this time of year.
We're in the middle of winter.
Is what is
Literally, we just
exciting.
crossed the winter solstice.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've actually collected seed from these tomatoes that are growing now in winter. It's nice and cold, so hoping that next season there'll be a more cold-resistant tomato. They also haven't gotten any diseases or haven't gotten sick, which is great. So that'll be very helpful for the next crop that grows. Hopefully we'll have a much stronger, healthier tomato plant for the next one. And then we also let our basil flower for the bees, and then also collect that seed for the next season. It's not great. Polystyrene is not the best product. So we have found that for us as a farm, we plant our seed either in trays like this or directly into the ground outside. And we found our transplanting ratio is higher. So we get about a 95% survival rate transplanting from there out.
These are just your seedlings.
Yeah,
So
let's
this
go
is
down here.
prep for summer.
This is prep for summer. We're getting ready for the summer planting, which is going to come out. I like to let it sit and break down and get ready for us. Here we've got some turnips. We've got cauliflower, broccoli, spinach, lettuces, everything, which is going to go out soon. Especially the turnips are going to go out.
One of the main ways to get rid of them is through poison, and we're not prepared to utilize poison. So we've just tried to educate our customers and go, okay, we'll give you a little bit more than a kg, so that whatever is damaged here, you'll be making up for in the little bit
It's
extra.
got all the same nutrition and health benefits, and it's like there's nothing wrong with it. Technically, it's just not as attractive as they might want.
Exactly. So to get rid of these little guys, or to manage their population, in the next 2 weeks these beds will be cleaned out. And then we'll put our chickens here. Our bushvelders and cooks will come, and then they'll live here for a while. And then that'll hopefully help eat the pupa that are resting in the ground during winter, so that when summer comes, there are a whole lot less of them. Yeah, we don't cut any of the grass on that part of the property, and I think that's one of the reasons the guinea fowls don't bug us as much as they bug other people, because they've got that space there. We've also found that we've gotten some wild quail, which has been
amazing.
really exciting. We've got the 3 different kinds of plovers. We've got the thickneys that breed there. The other smaller birds get a lot of seed from there, and so we keep that. And then when winter comes, when we do fire breaks and just clear out the grass, that grass then becomes mulching or bedding for our chickens.
One plant we have got this, and you can only harvest once a year, and it will be harvested in July. And then that's when we break it up and replant it and take out what roots we want and make it into the horseradish sauce and so on. But yeah, this is original from England, going back to the 50s. The actual creamy horseradish sauce, the longer you leave it in the fridge, the hotter it gets, the tastier it gets, and it just seems to never go bad.
Wow.
It
Like you
doesn't.
say, it's got some sort of built-in preservative.
Absolutely, we
Natural.
think so, because we don't put a preservative in there at all. Vinegar, which is part of the recipe. We actually put cream in it, and it doesn't go
doesn't.
bad. And honestly, all you need is just a little root like this, and you'll get a plant.
Okay, so you harvest what you need, and then you obviously got quite good at selecting what's good for eating versus replanting.
You know, we try and take the central mother root that goes down, which is the big potato peeler, and then we put it in the blender, and you mix it, and you make your horseradish.
With our secret recipe.
And we just break it up, and honestly, really,
Just propagates.
yeah,
Just goes back into the soil.
Look at it.
So all of this that's here came from one plant that we split and then split again. Some days we don't have some.
So you're saying this is spearmint
This is spearmint, and so we planted a small patch of it, and we've allowed it
to do its thing.
to grow, and it will continue to grow. If we don't keep it under bay, it really takes.
Yeah, it seems very happy.
Yeah. Bought a property knowing we wanted to plant and grow vegetables and possibly to sell some. I don't think we ever thought that we'd be growing into what we are now. And looking at the space outside and knowing that we'll still be breaking more ground and planting more stuff, and yeah, we never thought we'd be growing like we are now.